Hinged on the need to contribute in curbing accidents on the highways, a minister of the gospel, Pastor John Kongwi, has published a book titled Godly Manners of Driving.
Some of the things that we have in this book is we have the way that one of it is the manner where we see people today don't go to driving school. That's one of the aspects. But they are driving. They have driving license. You see on the highway that people who do not know how to manage a heavy-duty truck, they started by being just what we call motorboy, but they ended up being a driver. They don't know what driving is all about.
Passionate about saving lives, the theologian with the Cameroon Baptist Convention dissects the reasons behind accidents on our highways.
The fact that God rested on the seventh day doesn't mean that God was tired, because God can never tire. It is just the aspect of telling us, human, that we need rest. In everything you are doing, as a journalist, as a driver, everybody needs rest. Doctors need rest, because when you do not rest, you walk over time, you pass time walking, at the end you will discover that you yourself, health-wise, you are down.
Pastor John Conway blames the accidents on human, environmental, and technical factors.
When you drive with the mind of God, knowing that what you are carrying, it is God, people in your car, you will be able to drive carefully. One thing we should know is that your talent of driving is not about you. God gave it to you. And you must use it the way that it will glorify God.
The 76-page book looks at driving from a biblical perspective. And according to the author, it does not suffice to know how to drive. Neither does it suffice to have dozens of years of experience. What matters is to drive in a manner that...
Je voudrais d'abord me sacrifier au premier rituel de remerciement.
Francois Egal is the new principal of Government Bilingual High School, Nilong Brazzaville in Douala. He has taken the commitment to upgrade academic standards and continues striving for excellent results in public examinations. Francois Egal is conscious of the challenging task of managing a school which today is characterized by violence, sexual harassment, and other deviant acts. The installation of the new principal of Nilong Brazzaville, November 30, attracted a college of officials, teachers, and persons of all walks of life.
To the incoming principal, like the respect of the test, the effectiveness at work, the good collaboration with the staff and education community. There are lots of expectations, especially from teachers in areas of security and academic innovations. Our interest has to do with ways and means of reinforcing security. We expect him to fight against drug consumption and violence, but these can only be effective with the collaboration of security officers. He is replacing Mutobe George, who goes on retirement after serving as principal in the same school for 4 years. He says his replacement was timely.
I've worked hand in glove with the teachers and with the students and the educational community, and everything is very, very well. I think everybody is happy with my work, so I'm happy to go on retirement.
Today's installation ceremony follows a series of orders. The city of Douala aims at impacting change at the level of performance.
Make good use of the material put at your disposal. This was the message to the women of the Faro and Dio divisions of the Adamawa region of Cameroon by the Minister of Social Affairs, Pauline Irengene, who led and semi-mechanical manuals constituted the package to common initiative groups to help them boost production.
The
government promotes women's rights, valorizes and reinforces their status. You women in the Adamawa have been victims of kidnappings and ransom demand, and I rejoice that government's efforts has dropped the rate of insecurity. SERAC will continue to work in synergy with the powers that be to promote women, fight against poverty, and assist vulnerable persons. I am convinced you will make good use of the material put at your disposal.
Je sais que les bénéficiaires en feront bon usage.
The beneficiaries have expressed delight with the renewed generosity of SERAC in the Faro and Dio division. I thank Madame Chantabia for the gift to the women of Libom and Tinere. We have received so many farming equipments. I am very happy to have received a gift from the Circle of Friends of Cameroon and the Chantabia Foundation. I thank the First Lady for this gesture. The gift will permit us reinforce training in tailoring and information and communication technology at the Center for the Promotion of Women and the Family. The generator we have received will also help us overcome energy difficulties. Hundreds of the most vulnerable persons from all over the division also received basic necessities and foodstuff to permit them enjoy end-of-year festivities.
It is here at Idinawa, the Cameroon-Nigeria border, that these goods were intercepted. There are over 3,000 bottles of drinks from neighboring Nigeria, which have been seized by customs in the southwest region during a routine control. These important stocks of drinks were about fraudulently entering Cameroon through the southwest region. As customs public transport bus leaving Libet Douala transporting drinks was equally caught at the Character customs checkpoint. These goods were seized by customs agents of the southwest customs sectors who have expressed their determination to remain vigilant and professional, especially as end-of-year festivities are around the corner. It is worth noting that this operation falls in line with customs mission to preserve the economic sphere and the consumer.
Cameroon falls under medium-income countries, ranking the 24th most industrialized nation in Africa with 0.53 points, dropping by 4 places over the past decade. The report by the African Development Bank on Africa Industrialization Index also reveals 37 of 52 African countries have become more industrialized over the past 11 years. The top 10 most industrialized nations include South Africa, Morocco, Tunisia, Ethiopia, along with Mauritius, Eswatini, Namibia, Cote d'Ivoire, Equatorial Guinea, and Senegal. For Cameroon to lift its ranking or gain more places, therefore, the country needs to meet key indicators which the African Development Bank assesses each nation's progress. These include manufacturing performance, energy supply, infrastructure, exports, sound institutions, capital, labor, and a stable macroeconomic environment. In the Central African sub-region, the report reveals that poor infrastructure and persistent conflicts over the past 30 years in landlocked parts of the sub-region, including the Central African Republic, Chad, the eastern parts of the Democratic Republic of Congo, have contributed to underdeveloped infrastructure and weak business environments. Equatorial Guinea, that was amongst the top performing countries in 2010, is now outdistanced by Gabon, the best round country in the region. Cameroon therefore needs to take advantage of its position in the Central African sub-region and its natural endowments in order to boost energy supply, which stands as a lever of industrial development.
Sad memories still running here at the scene of the Sunday 27 deadly landslide that squeezed life out of 15 Cameroonians. And today, the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganji, is here to take stringent measures to prevent further calamities, especially with this nearby primary and secondary school.
The school is so close to the disaster zone. So the first thing is that we have discussed with the proprietors of the school to close the school. The governor already took a decision to that effect. So the school will go to another site. And for the meantime, I think the church is very big. You know, it's a very big infrastructure. They have the school, the church, and other things. So they can relocate for the time being the students or the people right inside the church.
Visiting the Damas area in Yaoundé, Paul Atanganji called on the inhabitants to stay off risky zones for their own safety.
So we want to tell the population that we have to respect the instructions coming from the local administrative authorities. You see, in every town you have certain places where you cannot construct. These are swampy areas and very delicate zones. But people still go and construct in these swampy areas. And when you do like that, you not only you are just destroying your own investment, but you endanger the lives of people and your neighbors. And you become an embarrassment to the state.
A real concern, he indicates, has been instructed by the head of state to be at the center of discussions during the next governors' meeting.
The Anglophone crisis has taken a new judicial twist with the arrest of 3 Cameroonians suspected for their involvement in the violent crisis in the northwest and southwest regions and conspiracy, including kidnapping and demanding for ransom. 40-year-old Clu Chief Francis Chenyi, 49, and La Nestor Langmi, 46, have appeared before the Kansas Federal Court in the U.S. of A. The 3 U.S. citizens of Cameroonian origin are charged in 4-count indictment, which include raising funds for separatist fighters in Cameroon and the use of weapons of mass destruction in a foreign country. From the federal indictment, Chenyi and Langmi, who all hold superior positions within the Amazonian organization, have supported and raised funds for separatist fighters since January 1, 2018 for direct armed intervention in Cameroon's northwest region. According to the indictment, funds were transferred to various financial and cryptocurrency accounts controlled by the defendants through intermediaries to support separatist fighters. So far, more than $350,000 is reported to have been raised through voluntary donations. The 3 indicted are equally reported to have commanded the kidnapping of Cardinal Christian Toumi and the traditional leader of the Nso people, Fonsem Binglo II. If found guilty, they would be sentenced for up to 20 years in prison.
Many people are known to have died, while others have been frustrated and humiliated as a result of poor reception in a hospital, be it public or private. But the problem, some people say, is more visible in public hospitals. Medical receptionists are noted for being responsible for the death of many patients on the spot.
The way we receive our patient is one of the cause of wars in the hospital. We don't take into consideration who we have in front of us. The fact that he or she is already psychologically touched.
Healthcare providers quickly expose some difficulties.
Mentality of people in our environment. They came themselves being so aggressive. The fact that you are a patient doesn't mean you come insult.
They remind them not to train them. In this phase, we are just like to remind them that they are the people, that the first people that come in contact with patients, so they should take care.
Because when we talk of reception, even when the patient enters into the consultation room, he or she still needs to be well received before being consulted. We want to stop this attitude of thinking that we have the right, because we are treating the patient, we can answer the patient anyhow.
At the first edition of Reviewing and Rethinking Receptions in Hospitals, experts say it is imperative for a change of mindsets as healing starts with a receptionist even before the patient meets a medical doctor. Today's conference brought together medical professionals and Cameroonians from all walks of life.
Canal International.